Okay. And the banana one mozo. Nka Igbo Wibo. Ekene mono. So nka now I will address this one specifically to Ndigbo. Specifically to Ndigbo. Ebo na hano. So this voice note, you will to anybody born Igbo. Now, it is not a hidden fact that na other tribes will anyofu Ndigbo no. Not just in Nigeria, or Nigeria, almost all over the world. Now, the average Igbo man, with this knack for business, with this determination, okay, follow. In Igbo man, yeah, another tribe man, 1 naira or 1 naira. Ibia in the next 2 years, an Igbo man may have turned that 1 naira into 100,000 naira. Why the other person may have even gone into debt? That is the grace Chineke nyere ndị Igbo. It is the grace. So ordinarily, such people are hated. Oh wait, let me use the word. Let me use it as it is. Those people are hated. So as an Igbo man, if you don't have, from when I was young, the first experience I have about the challenges an average Igbo man had was when I was growing up in Benin. They were doing quiz competition, and I represented my school, Immaculate Conception College. That was in 1994. And then I came out as overall best. And then we went at the state level. I also came out as the overall best. And then we were to go to Lagos for the national quiz competition. My school won at the zonal level and then won at the state level. And then we were now going to go to the national to go and represent. That was when the panelists from Edo State now remember that my name is Nwankwo Johnson Ebuka. And I see Nwankwo Johnson Ebuka bụ onye Bini. How can we allow an Igbo man to go and represent us in Edo State? But when I was being enrolled and all that, and when I was taking all the first year, nobody questioned that. But Olusegun when I get represented those states, I remember the physics teacher from Edokolo College and the chemistry teacher from Emagwero. I remember 2 of them insisting that since this young man is the best and he's from Edo State, let us allow. I said no. Others kicked against it. They said it would be a shame for an Igbo man or this any Edo person will oguguisi. How can the first person, because Muabu first, then the other girl was going to demonstration college. Then Muabu second, she's second, only Igbo. And then they replaced the 2 of us. What fine abo? Tinyezi ndị gbara third na ndị gbara fourth. Onye gbara third onye Bini, onye gbara fourth onye Shan. And they replaced the 2 of us. I cried so much. That was the first day I realized I was an Igbo man because I was growing up. I didn't actually know the difference. So it is that from that first time I had the taste of tribalism that I cannot represent these states because I am an Igbo man. That was when my identity became so obvious to me. So, and as I start growing up, going to tertiary institution, getting a job in Shell and all that, I saw the tribalism. Maybe some people will feel that I one day got school, we didn't see the tribalism. Not how I one day didn't make business in Lagos. No, we that work in parastatals, we see the tribalism more than even in the name business. Only one name business now. Our own is in the company where you have different tribes. You will see that the only place all other tribes unite in Nigeria is against an Igbo man. Ichoka Nigeria unite, you will see Nigeria will unite. Ichoka Nigeria unite, oppress an Igbo man, Nigeria will unite. The only time people will not rise up and condemn evil is when it involves an Igbo man. If Peter Obi were not to be an Igbo man, he would have been the president of this country. There is no two about it. He would have been sitting as a president from that 2023 election. But people saw the injustice. And then because he's an Igbo man, it was glaring, it was obvious, it was ostensible. But don't know about why? Because he's an Igbo man. And that is why I always tell Ndigbo, you must be very careful. But I have said it over and over and again. If I don't know who put you, I say, Engineer, even go one school. When I go one school, that that you should have been reasoning. You got a reason can average trader, can average illiterate. They say, I know that as an educated man, as one of the elites in Igbo land, I should be the one at the forefront because I have experienced tribalism. In fact, let me tell you the truth. The educated people from other tribe are the most tribalist. In fact, the illiterate from other tribe are not even as tribal as the educated people from other tribe. Imitate the average Yoruba man. The average Yoruba man that is let me tell you one thing you must understand. Education does not erase tribalism from the dictionary of a Yoruba man. Education does not erase tribalism from the dictionary of an Hausa Fulani man. Education does not erase tribalism from the dictionary of an Edo man. Once an Igbo man is involved. So if then I say, hey, Onya, this person went to school, oh my God, even in the Church of God, as a pastor, let me tell you, one of the reasons I resigned from within Christian Church of God is the obvious tribalism in Port Harcourt, in such a way that an Igbo man cannot get to a particular, anyway, some parishes an Igbo man cannot head. One is a lucrative parish, one is a big parish, an Igbo man cannot head it. It is a decision that has been taken, and they made it very clear to us that Igbo man cannot be trusted. Like even at Port Harcourt now, place like King's Palace, place like Jesus House, place like Grace Chapel, an Igbo man have never been the provincial pastor there, have never been the area pastor there, have never been the parish pastor there, because they believe that these are the biggest branches in Port Harcourt, so the biggest parishes. And why are they doing that? Because he's an Igbo man. Even when you go to churches that are being owned by Yoruba people, you will see the level of tribalism. Sometimes it's not just tribalism, you will see the level of hatred. I don't know why Ndigbo still believe that one day you will be loved in this country. Let me tell you, once you are hated, you are hated. And you don't need to offend an enemy for an enemy to hate you. There are people who just hate you because of your tribe. There are people who don't like you because of where you come from. No matter how you like, behave, no matter how you like, rather they will try to set you up against your brothers. I know now when they find people name me holier than that attitude. I don't know the Yoruba one day tribe was you don't behave like an Igbo man. You are different. And the idiots, the stupid man, because they told him you don't behave like an Igbo man, he will now be oppressing his brother so that he can appease the people, telling him that you don't behave like an Igbo man. You are very stupid. You are an idiotic Igbo man. For you to try to appease other tribe because they are telling you you don't behave like an average Igbo man, you are too different. So the thing I need some idiot issue. And then they will not join the other people to not oppress their people, not knowing that after oppressing their people, when their people is no longer, they will not remember that they're also Igbo, and they will deal with them. It is high time we develop Igbo land. That is why in Anya, I try to bring every investment I can in Igbo land. I started since 2018. There was a challenge I had in Port Harcourt. From that time, I decided all my investment should be going to Igbo land. Once I have some money, and I usually call them peripheral money, maybe a money I don't have immediate need. In Nigerian, go stock. Stock is a place where there's no tribalism. Go so much, and you are scared you cannot invest in Igbo land. Use the money and buy stocks. Go lose stocks. Buy digital assets. Buy stocks. There is no tribalism in assets. Sorry, there's no tribalism in Nigeria Stock Exchange. When they go to some level and you feel that use it to buy stocks. But let me tell you, don't ever believe, let an Igbo man become president. It will not erase the inbuilt and the ingrained hatred when they do Ndigbo. Under normal condition, once one of them is successful, there is a natural envy and jealousy that will come from the other two who are not successful. It is normal, so I don't even blame them. Well, okay, with all the oppression and the Ndigbo, with the way they are holding them down, yet Ndigbo they are still going far. So other tribes are thinking that we have held these people down after the Civil War. We knocked them off economically. We knocked them off from the parastatal. We knocked them off from the federal government agencies. They don't get to a level in the military, in the police, in the custom. They don't get to a level in social and so. They don't get a level in social. And even with all those emancipation and the way we have caged them, yet they are exploding. What if they become the president? What if we allow them to become the president of this country? What will happen? That is their fear. And their fear is found, it's not strange. That is what other people would have done when you see a tribe that is bulldozing their way, no matter how you try to incapacitate them. So you as an Igbo man should have this, let it sink in your brain that by the virtue of where you come from, nobody likes you. And it will be very stupid for you. Look, okay, for Muno Igbo waking no chogo. Na banyo, Muno Igbo, me and Igbo man, we can fight in our village, we can fight in Anambra fighter. But once I put a hand in Anambra state, I cannot fight an Igbo man outside of my state. I can never do that. I will look for peace. I can never, and get knock the bully Boma, Utana University now, bully Boma, Gawa court. No, I will look for a peace to resolve it. Because I know we're already endangered. I know that we're already disadvantaged. I know that there is enormous hatred against us. Why would I now come and complicate it? But I feel very bad that Ndigbo look na Lagos, I don't know Ndigbo. Ndigbo look na Port Harcourt, I don't know Ndigbo. Ndigbo look na Kano, Ebe hatred, I don't know Ndigbo. I cannot do that. I cannot come outside of Igbo land and then start fighting my Igbo brother. Please, it is high time we start thinking home. So many people have been saying it, but in the Banya Dano, it doesn't make sense. Let's start bringing our investment home. Don't look at it. Look, when you are looking at the economical benefits or the profit, you will never bring any investment home. Okay, the plaza in Nobo. Do you think it's because of the profit I build those plaza in my village? The plaza in Colombia, do you think it's because of profit? In Ndigbo, is it because of profit? I may not even be getting anything from them. But the most important thing is that that structure is there and it have added to the demographic of properties in that particular location. I have increased per square meter the density of properties in that location. So when open a phone loan, okay, take for instance now you call buy now. Open and didn't name importer now. Phone hasikita kahabido make away a branch of their businesses. Nobu. Do you know what Obu will become in the next 2 years or 3 years? But people are profit conscious. People are business profiting and all that. Sorry for taking this long time, but the challenge there is that an Igbo man is endangered, and it is wickedness for you to join other people. Some people will even be the first to start condemning Ndigbo without even getting the evidence. I say Ndigbo are too pompous, Ndigbo are too arrogant, Ndigbo are attacking their host, Ndigbo are mocking their host. And then let me tell you the truth. If the Igbos are united, even if they make mistakes, of course, human being, the proof of our humanity is mistakes. We make mistakes. There are some things we may not do well. But when people stand with you in your trying moment, even your oppressors, we think twice. But when your oppressor is able to divide you, when your oppressor is even you are even the one taking the cane and the whip from your oppressor to whip your brother, your oppressor will now be emboldened and encouraged more to unleash the worst of wickedness on your brother. Let us stop being the first to attack our brothers. No matter if you will start. No. First of all, start to defend your people that this thing is wrong. Blame the government first before you now start blaming your people. But the most important thing, bunata your property back home. That is the best. No, any profit or the profit, bunata ono.